Hello my dear students, once again welcome to your online class. Today we will be beginning a new chapter of your chemistry, that is the language of chemistry. So first we will start this chapter with what are symbols. So what are symbols? Symbols are the shorthand representation of the chemical elements. Like if I have a hydrogen, okay, in short I can write it as H. Okay, if I have a oxygen, I can write it as a O. Okay, so this is what is meant by a symbol. That means a short form of the chemical of an element is known as a symbols. So in the earlier days, what the people used to do, they used to find a different specific, like in some they used to represent like this, some they used to represent by a dot, okay, some by a dark circle. Okay, so that created a lot of confusion. So in order to avoid that confusion, nowadays what is done, whenever we write the symbol, we either write the first element, first alphabet of its English name, or sometimes we write two alphabets, like in case of a helium. Okay, what do? We write the first two alphabet, He. Okay, but in some of the elements, we write the alphabet of its Latin name, like in case of a sodium. Okay, what is the symbol of sodium? It is Na. Na comes from the word natrium, okay, which is the Latin name of the element. So are you clear? So the symbol is the shorthand of the elements, okay, or the shorthand of the name of the elements, and when writing the symbol we either use the first two alphabet of the English name, or the first one of the English name, or the first alphabet of the Latin name, or the first two alphabet of the Latin name. Now coming to the valency, the second term, what is a valency? So now we know that the elements, they combine with one another to attain stability. Like when a sodium, it combines with a chlorine. So what happens? The sodium, it can donate one electron, and the chlorine, it can accept one electron. Okay, so the number of electron that an atom can donate or receive during a chemical reaction is known as the valency. So in short, we can say that the valency is the combining capacity of an element. Now coming to the ion. So just like here, when a sodium, Na, it loses one electron, it becomes Na plus, and when a chlorine, it receives one electron, it becomes Cl minus. Okay, so these charged atoms are known as ions. Okay, and the positive is known as a cation and the negative is known as a anion. So what is an ion? Ion is a charged atom, either a positive charge or a negative charge. Now coming to the radical. Okay, so what is a radical? The radical is a group of atom that behaves as a single unit charge, or not unit. So is a group of atoms that have a charge in them. Like we have ammonia, NH4, ammonium ion. Okay, so in case of ammonium ion, we write plus there. Okay, so it doesn't mean that this only the hydrogen is positive, but as a whole, okay, nitrogen as well as hydrogen in a combined state, it is positively charged. Or like a hydroxyl ion, OH minus. So it doesn't mean that only the hydrogen is negative, but as a whole OH has a negative charge. So such charged group of atom, they are known as a radicals. So radical is a group of atom that behaves as a single unit of charge. Okay, singly charged as a whole is known as a radical. We will be learning about the chemical reaction, the necessary condition for the chemical reaction, the characteristics of the chemical reaction, what is a chemical equation, writing a chemical equation, balancing a chemical equation, the limitations of chemical equation, and finally we will learn the type of chemical reaction. So we already know that in a chemistry we learn about different types of compound and elements and the reactions of the two elements or the two compounds to produce a new substance. Okay, so now coming to the chemical reaction. So what is a chemical reaction? Now coming to the chemical reaction, first let us discuss a physical change and a chemical change. So the changes we see in our day-to-day life from morning till evening, but there are some changes which are reversible and there are some changes which are irreversible. Just like growing of a tree is an irreversible change, and boiling of a water is a reversible change. So the chemical reactions are the one in which two of the reactants, reactant means whichever are on the left hand side, like a sodium and chlorine, it react to form a sodium chloride. Okay, so these two are known as the reactant, and on the right hand side it is known as the product. So in the chemical reaction, two of the reactant combines or reacts to produce a completely new product, and the chemical reactions, they are always permanent in nature. That means they are irreversible. So such reactions are said to be the chemical reaction. And remember, in a chemical reaction, the product form has completely a new property of that of the combining element. Like in this case, sodium is a very explosive metal and a chlorine is a poisonous gas. But sodium and a chlorine, it combines to give a salt, okay, which is non-poisonous, which we eat in our day-to-day life. Okay, so such reactions are said to be the chemical reaction. Now coming to the second point, necessary condition for the chemical reaction. Now there are some of the necessary condition required for the two of the reactant to react. The first one, it must be in a close contact. Okay, so two of the reacting substance must be in a close contact. That means you cannot make the two of the substance react when they are at a different places. Now the second necessary condition is, in some of the cases, two of the reacting substances, they must be in a solution form. Sometime whenever the two reactants react, a high temperature is necessary, sometime even a high pressure. Okay, so you may learn that from your book. So few of them, they are the close contact, okay, heating, then some occurs in the presence of light, some occurs in the presence of sound. Okay, for some a solution is required, and for some a catalyst is required. Now what is a catalyst? Catalyst is a chemical substances that enhances the rate of chemical equation. Okay, so these are the necessary conditions for the chemical reactions. Now coming to the character of the chemical reaction. So whenever a chemical reaction occur, it is always accompanied by the evolution of gas. Evolution of gas. Okay, the second, sometime what happens, there is an exchange of heat also. Exchange of heat. That means whenever a chemical reaction occur, whether either a heat is absorbed or a heat is given out. The third, the change in color may also occur. Okay, then fourth, the formation of precipitate may occur, which is written as PPT. Now what is a precipitate? The precipitate means whenever you mix two liquids or the two solutions, sometimes what happens is insoluble particles are formed, just like the formation of a curd. Okay, so those are known as a precipitate. Okay, so these are some of the characters of the chemical reaction. The chemical reaction may occur by the evolution of gas, the exchange of heat, the change in the state also, then the change in the color, and maybe the formation of precipitate as well. Okay, so these are some of the characters of the chemical reaction. Topic, that is the chemical equation. Now what is a chemical equation? The chemical equation is the symbolic representation of the chemical reaction. Like if I say the hydrogen, okay, so the hydrogen, it reacts with the oxygen to give water. So if I write it in terms of a symbolic representation, like the hydrogen, it reacts with the oxygen to produce water. Okay, so then this form is known as the chemical equation. Okay, so the chemical equation is the symbolic representation of a chemical reactions. So now writing the chemical equation is very simple. Okay, so like example here we already have. So hydrogen reacts with the oxygen to produce water. So when we write H2 plus O2, it gives H2O. Okay, so that is how we write a chemical equation. Now coming to the sixth point, that is the balancing of the chemical equation. For this you must also know what is the conservation of mass. Okay, so the conservation of mass tells us that the mass can neither be created nor it can be destroyed. So that's why whenever we write a chemical equation, the number of atoms on both the sides of the reaction, that is on the reactant side and the product side, it must be equal. Like if I consider this equation, on the left hand side I have 2 hydrogen, okay, and oxygen I have 2 there, and on the right hand side the hydrogen, number of hydrogen 2 and the number of oxygen is only 1, thus it is not balanced. So according to the conservation of mass, on both the sides of the equation, the number of atoms must be same. So in order to uphold this law, we must balance a chemical equation. So the chemical equation can be balanced by adding a digit in the front of the given element. Like, now what can I do? Now I need to make oxygen 2, so I'll write 2 here. So the oxygen, now we have 2 atoms of oxygen. But when we do so, we also see that the number of hydrogen increases. So it is multiplied. 2 2 is 4. So now we have hydrogen 4, but on the left hand side we have 2. So what can I do? I can multiply this hydrogen with 2. So 2 2 is 4. Okay, so thus the chemical equation is balanced. Okay, so it's very necessary to balance a chemical equation because of the law of conservation of mass. Now coming to the limitation of chemical equation. Okay, so limitation means the sum of the informations that are not conveyed by the chemical equation. So the first is, when we look at this reaction, we will not be able to tell which one is a gas and which one is a liquid and which one is a solid. So that is the first limitation. That means it does not tell us about the state of the reactant and the product. The second, it also does not tell us about the time period, means during what time the hydrogen reacts with the oxygen to produce a water. Okay, so these are the two limitations of the chemical reaction. Now coming to the types of chemical reaction, there are various types of chemical. So some chemical reactions, like we have the first one we have is the direct combination. Okay, so the direct combination. So in a direct combination, what happens is two of the elements directly combine to form the third, like ammonia, nitrogen plus the hydrogen, it gives NH3. Okay, so this kind of reaction in which A plus B, for example, gives the product C, in which the two of the elements directly combine, is known as a combination reaction. So the opposite of this reaction can be called as a decomposition. So the decomposition reactions are the one in which AB, that means a single compound, when heated it gives a two compound A plus B. This reaction being a reversible, when ammonia is heated again, okay, what happens? It breaks into nitrogen and a hydrogen gas. So these kind of reactions are known as a decomposition reaction. So apart from this, we have a displacement, the double displacement, neutralization and various other reactions. It's a very simple chapter. So you may go through your textbook line by line, and if you do not understand anything, you are always free to ask me. Okay.